So tonight I decided I'm going to make myself some steak and eggs. This is a bottom round steak. It's a beef steak. And I got some little bit of butter in here. I didn't measure the butter, but it's just what was left of that one stick of butter, and I decided to just go ahead and throw it in there. Just let it melt down a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some lemon juice and put some lemon juice in that. And now I got to find the lemon juice. Anyway, somebody always moves the lemon juice, but I always like to go with the real lemon juice because it's definitely a lot better. And I can't get the darn thing open. All right, so I got one of these things, wrap over the top of it. That'll give me a little bit of a better grip on it. Ah, there it goes. Perfect. So, I like a little lemon juice mixed in with my butter. And of course, the real lemon gives me 100% lemon juice. So I'm going to throw some, not a whole lot, just a little bit of lemon juice in there. And then I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. And the reason I'm adding lemon juice and water is because I just kind of like the way it does the steak. Alright, so what I'm going to do, put some water in there with my butter and lemon juice. That will steam down. And this steak is frozen. It's been in the freezer. I looked in there just to kind of see, what's available for me. And I decided to go ahead and go with this. No, it doesn't smell freezer burn or anything, so I'm just going to plop it in there. And it will cook, so I'm not going to worry about rinsing it off or anything because, sometimes, I think my pan's a little small. Oh well, it'll cook down. But one thing I like to do is I like to put a lid on it and let it cook down. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this on a plate, and I'm going to chop it so that I can kind of put it in there without without it sticking over the edge. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to cover it with this. And if anybody's wondering, no, it's not Halloween. It's just a nice little cup that we enjoy. So let me get a big knife. So I got me an old pot holder, and I'm going to set that down right there, and I'm going to put a plate down. The reason I do that is so the plate doesn't want to slide around on the countertop. I'm gonna get this steak, and I'm gonna set it on the plate. Kind of drip it off a little bit. I got a big knife here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just give it a good cut right there. I know it's frozen, but sometimes you just gotta. Well, sometimes you just gotta let it slide off and fly across the room. Alright, I guess that's going to be a mess I got to clean up. Okay, I got that cleaned up. Let me try this again. I got a good start on it. That was so funny. The thing just shot right off the countertop, right off the plate and the countertop, and landed on the floor. Oh, the things people do. Gosh. Okay, I got that cut. Took me a little while, but I got it. Check that out. Tell you, cooking frozen steak, kind of, it's a little tough sometimes to do that, but it'll fit in there. See, now it's getting a little warm. You can see a little steam coming off the water with the butter and lemon juice in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this lid on there. Lid fits perfect. And I'm just going to leave it on the burner for a while. And I'm going to let it defrost in there and cook at the same time. And I'm going to clean up my mess from the plate here and wash my hands. So I washed my plate. Still haven't washed my knife though. But one thing I'm doing here is I'm cooking the steak. But what I'm going to have is steak and eggs. After my steak is cooked, not fully, absolutely, just almost cooked all the way, I'm going to crack open 2 eggs and I'm going to put them in there around the steak and let those cook under the lid. I'm going to put the lid back on. I'm going to let them sit in there and steam and simmer in the juices of the butter, lemon juice, whatever water is left in there, and the juices from the steak itself. While the steaks are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and choose amongst the eggs here that we got from the chicken coop. And yeah, they're dirty. I know they're dirty. I'll take them and clean them, but I got my handy dandy flashlight here, and this flashlight, it's got 3 settings. And I like the really, really bright setting. And I take an egg and I hold this up to it. You can see how it lights it up on the inside compared to not. And that's how you can tell if there's a chicken growing inside that egg. And this one does not have anything growing in it, so I'm going to take that and wash it. What does this big one right here have in it? Let's look and see. See how it's all lit up? There's nothing growing in there. It's just dirt on the outside. So I'm going to take those 2 eggs and I'm going to wash them. These eggs really need to be cleaned. Most of them are good, but I use my flashlight anyway to double check them just to make sure. And when I know they're okay and they're not cracked and there's nothing growing in them, because we have chickens, and when you have chickens you have a lot of eggs, and we also have roosters, so once in a while we'll end up with an egg that, you know, has a baby chickie growing in it, and we don't want to crack open an egg that has a baby chickie growing in it and cook that with our steaks. Let's check on the steak real quick. That's hot. Ooh, it's slowly cooking. Yeah, won't be long until I have to turn that over. Alright, let's go wash those eggs. Another way that you can tell if an egg is good or bad, these are the 2 I checked with the flashlight, is, well, let me turn this light on. Gosh, trying to do things in the dark. I like to take a container like this, and I'll put the eggs in there one at a time, and I'll run water over them. And part of running water over them is to clean them, but the other part is to make sure they don't float. Because if an egg floats, it's not a good egg. It means it's got gases on the inside, and the reason it would have gases on the inside would be, why? Because it's decomposing and you know, creating gases from decomposition. Neither one of these eggs are floating, so I'm going to go ahead and wash these. My eggs are washed and they're sitting here waiting for me to add them to the steak. Let me check the steak real quick and see how it's doing. Yeah, that's nice and hot. This part's hot, so that means the other part's hot. Let me look in there real quick. Oh yeah, I think it's time for me to turn that over. Ew, it's on the back side there, but that'll cook. All right, I'm gonna grab a fork real quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and grab those. They're defrosting really well. Just go ahead and turn that over. I'm not making fancy steak. I'm just giving them a good old cooking. And I'll probably add some steak sauce or something to them as well. Maybe a little salt and pepper. Alright. That lid's got a pretty good seal around it. This thing's really making a lot of noise, which means it's sending out steam. So it's really cooking good in there. It's fully defrosted. And yeah, that's hot. Ooh, yeah, that's hot. Okay, let's look at that steak. Oh yeah. All right. Ooh, that's hot. Yeah. Darn it. So I'm gonna let that cook like that and simmer and steam down. It is cooked. A lot of people say that's not cooked, but it's cooked. It is. My fork goes all the way through it perfectly fine. It is cooking. But I'm not going to just stop right here. I'm gonna let it keep cooking. But I'm going to let it... Let me get that fork out. Get out, fork. All right. Let me grab a spoon. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to let that cook like that for a while. And whenever I feel like it's steamed down enough and it's cooking good, then I'm going to break the eggs and put the eggs in with it. And I guess you can tell, I didn't mention this earlier, but yes, this is a carnivore meal. Steak and eggs. So I let it cook for a while. And it has simmered and everything. And it's cooked all the way through. It doesn't look like it's been like cooked like it would if it was on a griddle or a grill or whatever. It's simmered and in the water, lemon juice, and butter mixture here, and it is perfectly fine, perfectly good. So what I'm going to do now, a lot of people don't do this, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to crack my eggs. I'm just going to put them right in that. Oop, almost overcracked that one. I'm just going to sit it in there in the hot stuff. Let me go ahead and crack my second egg. I'll drop it in there. And you can tell, or I can tell, it's already cooking. See how the whites are already cooking in there? It's already cooking. Cooking in water, butter, lemon juice mixture. You should always rinse your fingers off after cracking the eggs because, you know, you get a little bit on your fingers. It's always good just to wash that off. I'm going to let that cook for a little bit. I guess you could say this is a type of poached egg. Maybe. I'm not really sure. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid back on that while I'm thinking about it. I don't know why I didn't do that a while ago. I totally forgot. Let me check those eggs. Ooh. A little steamy. I'd say that one's probably done. This one looks like it needs to go a little bit more. So let me take some of this, kind of throw it over the top of that. Yeah, I know the egg yolks are going to be done. There ain't nothing wrong with that. This is, I guess, a type of poaching eggs, maybe. I don't know, just a different way to do things. Alright, I think that's enough. I'm going to go ahead and get that out of there. And I found my little scooper duper. I guess I'll use this one. No, I'm not going to use that one. I need to use, yeah, I'll use this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and get these things out of there. Put them on the plate. I think it's nice and hot, cooked plenty. Look at that. Kind of drain that off there a little bit. Let me see if I can get this one out. Yeah, look at that. Just kind of drain it off. Don't want too much liquid on the plate. Yeah, they're cooked slightly different than normal. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna turn the heat off, and I'm gonna set that. Put the lid back on that, and I'm gonna set that aside because I don't want that on the heat. I got a pot holder on that. And I'm gonna go right down here, and I'm gonna sit at that table, and I'm gonna enjoy. Put that right there. I got a pot holder under it because it's a little hot. And I'm gonna sit right there, and I'm gonna enjoy my steak and eggs. Yes, this is a carnivore diet, and I don't know. I'm thinking probably part of the reason I'm on a carnivore diet. I don't know. I was thinking about my health. Can you see me? Let me get that down there. There we go. I always like to add salt because with salt makes it taste better. But this is iodized salt. People say you should cut back on salt, but I don't believe that. I think it's salt is really, really needed for your health, especially the iodine that's in it. I love pepper. And with my steak and eggs, I always like hot sauce. For some reason, hot sauce just goes good with steak and eggs. And today, I'm having what they call Tennessee Sunshine. Tennessee is a hot pepper Tennessee Sunshine sauce. This is pretty good stuff. A lot of times I'll do tiger sauce. Sometimes I'll do Mongolian fire oil. I've done that before, and other habanero sauces, picante sauces. Different odds and ends like that. But that's the way I like it. It's the way I like it. I'm going to go ahead and cut me a piece of this steak and get me a piece of that egg. And the steak, yeah, look at that. It's not cooked too much. It's plenty cooked, even though a lot of people say it didn't look like it was cut. It's plenty good. Still tender. It's not too chewy or anything like that. I think it did great. It did plenty good. Cut a piece of egg to go with that. I like my egg and my hot sauce. Yeah. That was good. Yeah, the egg kind of has a taste of the lemon and butter in it, which is kind of it's an odd taste, but it's a good taste, along with the steak as well and the hot sauce. That is good stuff. Let me go ahead and show you. Oh, good stuff. So, if you like my carnivore diet, my steak and eggs, give me a thumbs up, make a comment, tell me what you think about carnivore diets, and anyway, talk to you later.